Hi everyone, and welcome to my session today for about 10 to 15 minutes to talk to you about COVID. Are you finance fit? I'm Shane Yates, and we are All Business Solutions. So initially, I'd like to start with this quote really that I seen a couple of months ago, where it says, "We are not all in the same boat. However, we are all in the same storm." And I think that's very apparent really that we can associate with this. We are all in different sizes of boats, which means in a variety of different circumstances where we stand with our personal lives, with our family, with our businesses, with our work commitments, and so on, with the impact of COVID-19. However, the storm is, we're all part of the same storm. So however we look at it, the impact of COVID-19 is having a huge impact on all of us. So I think it's very important when I saw this, and I saw it, and it was about supporting each other. It's about don't judging and also be kind. And I think some of those words are going to be very useful as we go forward. So the objectives of this session is to look at, give an example of who we are, what we do at All Business Solutions. Where are we in the current state of the economy in a snapshot in time? Market considerations and considerations for businesses going forward as we start to look at opening up. What can you do now to boost cash flow? And our future contact points if you need to get in touch with us. So All Business Solutions, we established in May 2020. We're industry experts across commercial business finance, cost-saving solutions to boost your cash flow, consultancy-led services, and we have an exclusive UK partner referral program for businesses to access to help enhance their offering with their current clients, or for membership organisations who can use our solutions to enhance their membership packages. So where are we in a snapshot in time? So on the left-hand side, we can see the initial impact of COVID-19. So this is actually where we can see the key areas that we've been working with since March this year. So businesses across the UK have predominantly closed or partially closed, or had to change their operations significantly to continue to service their clients. Majority have seen their pipeline totally vanish. There's been a wave of grant announcements for hospitality and other similar sectors who've been really affected. Furlough developed to support UK jobs. HMRC schemes to support the self-employed, CBIL schemes to ease market lending and to help the banks open up to support businesses across the UK who've been severely affected by COVID-19, and the introduction of the bounce back loan guarantee scheme at 100%, where interest and repayments have been deferred into next year, and this to help more of the smaller family-run businesses who need support at this moment in time. On the right-hand side, we can see the delayed effect, as I like to call it. So this is looking at exactly, taking on board where we are with businesses being closed, predominantly not earning an income. We've also delayed and deferred everything from March onwards next year. So businesses have currently deferred their VAT, deferred their PAYE, deferred their business rates, deferred existing loans and liabilities that were already in place to support their businesses, deferred development bank loan funding, deferred CBILs, interest and minimum repayments into next year, deferred the bounce back loan guarantee scheme, and they have a deferred income since March 2020 in the majority of businesses who've had to close their doors. So the real concern here is as the economy starts to open up again, it's how businesses are going to be able to take on the current liabilities of running their businesses, but also having to pay back all the things they've deferred from this year into next year. And this is going to be the real pinch point in the economy when we look at the impact of jobs and impact of businesses being able to sustain their cash flow going forward. So market considerations, things to consider for your business going forward. So when can your business fully reopen? Really big question here. Lots of different changes with UK-wide government mainly focusing on priorities of England, Scottish, the devolved governments in Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales. Everyone is actually at different time zones at the moment when it comes to looking at opening up the economy again. And obviously there are going to be various sectors in here that will benefit in the early days where they'll be allowed to open up versus sectors like in hospitality, or may not be able to open up until later in the year. And again, that's going to have some implications when it comes to having to pay towards furlough, for example, in October, in September and October, where there's going to be a 10% payment in September and a 20% requirement payment for businesses in October. A real challenge where if your business is currently closed and your sector is going to be closed until after that point, it's how you can actually be able to pay for those payments where you may not have had an income since March. So I know there's a lot of conversation happening across the hospitality sector with UK government to see what can be done to help that sector out, which looks like it'll be the last sector to be allowed to be open again. How can you actually, so how can your business support social distancing? Again, another real challenge really. If you've got a business property that's very old, very narrow, very small in size, again, lots of concerns from business owners around how they can support social distancing. How to keep your staff and customers safe with measures like social distancing if you are going to reopen. And again, real considerations here for hygiene, for health, and also, protecting yourself for future claims. And I've got that on the bottom point. It's something we'll talk about in a second. Percentage drop in revenue. So if you are allowed to open up again, but you have to have a reduced level of footfall in your business, again, how much of a percentage drop can you take from, if you're a restaurant, for example, and you work on minimum covers per night or per week as a guide to keep your business sustainable, what percentage drop can you take before it becomes unviable? Again, this is something to start looking at as you start to plan moving forward to open your business. And future liability, protecting future claims is a big concern here in the industry, in the insurance industry, around supporting businesses to cover themselves for a pandemic when it comes to their property, their staff, their employees, and members of the public. And again, this could potentially become a new PPI type industry where there'll be lots and lots of future claims being made through companies on no win, no fee. And I think that is a real concern in the industry, is how individual family businesses can get a protection of insurers to actually protect themselves for future cases if they have a member of staff who is exposed to Covid-19 germs, or they take it home and a member of the family gets it. Again, where does the blame lie, and who actually picks those pieces up going forward with future claims and so on. So again, that is an industry headache that's probably not been fully addressed yet. For consideration, if you're looking to reopen your business. So this session is about what can we really do to boost cash flow. This is going to be critical for businesses in the current climate. So cash is king, and that is an old-fashioned statement, but it's never been important in the current climate we are today. Every penny in your bank you've got access to is really, really going to count going forward. So what we're saying to businesses is actually start planning ahead, where by factoring in how you see your businesses ready to start opening up again, it's looking at a cash flow plan, your plan A, your plan B, your plan C, and actually the implications in your cash flow, what you need to be able to work with going forward, which will be required to support your business, not just for now as you start to reopen up, but more into next year when all those deferred payments start coming back online, and you're going to have to make up those payments with your cash flow. So can you sell anything? Is there any capital equipment or any capital items around your business that you could potentially sell and generate into cash? That's a really good question, because it's something, when I've spent 25 years going around businesses, you always come across a room where there's a lot of sheets and covers and old technology and old equipment and machinery and so on that may not be of any use to the current business owner because they've advanced their technology or they've moved on in their processes. But actually there'll be someone out there who would really like to purchase that item or who would need that item for their business to go forward. So again, what I would say is if you have got anything lying around that you're not using, and if it's definitely under a cover or in a cupboard somewhere, pull it out, dust it down, get it online and get it sold. Okay, challenge all cost lines. So something we're asking businesses to do here, and it's something that we specialize in, is actually looking at your everyday business costs. Go back through your bank statements the last 12 months. This will give you an example of, missing any of those annual renewals or any payments that, that you're not aware of, but they're just one-off payments or every 6 months or so. So go through line by line and psychologically challenge every single penny going out of your business. Does it have to go out? Can it be put forward? Or is it something you really need to have? Okay. And if you really need to have it, and there's a large annual payment coming out now, could you look at switching that to maybe a direct debit and pay it over and spread it out over 12 months, or move that payment on a bit to give you a bit more breathing space with negotiating with that supplier? Okay. So that's quite important. And again, that's going to free up cash in your business. Looking at energy, business energy, looking at the payment, cost of car payment terminals and all these kind of systems and processes and things you use in your business day by day. There's other companies out there who actually provide those at a lot cheaper rate or a better discount. And again, it's actually looking at those and actually challenging those. And just to share with you, there's a business here in West Wales, there's a tyre centre. And I always use this example because, again, traditionally a very, very busy business, operational 6 days a week, extremely high turnover, but no time to look at their basic costs. So when I actually sat down with the owner and said, okay, let's have a look at your card machine, and we did a cost for cost analysis and like for like pricing, and our rates were so much better. And because they had a larger turnover, we were able to save £23,000 in a 3-year contract. So about £8,000 a year as a guide. That is a huge saving for a small family-run business. And that's one solution out of many other solutions in his business that could be looked at and challenged on price. So that's what I'm trying to say to businesses, and what we're trying to do and help businesses go forward is really challenge your costs. Okay, downsize options, not something a lot of businesses want to consider, but a reality for many going forward, where they're starting to open up their operations at a slower pace from where they left off when they closed their operations in March. So this will have an impact with a lot of businesses. And what we're saying here is look at your options of cost of retaining versus the cost of losing some of your key staff, potentially with a viewpoint to save your companies going forward. So lots of businesses will be looking at downsizing. Lots of businesses will be looking at shifting resources into different areas of the business, or a lot of businesses will be looking at bringing out new solutions in a new way of working, which may not require the level of resource they currently have. So it's inevitable that a lot of jobs will probably go once business and economy starts to reopen fully. Okay, plan ahead. We always say this: monitor and adapt quickly. And these are really key statements, really, because if we don't adapt quickly, it's going to cost you money and it's going to cost you your cash flow. Okay, so that is All Business Solutions. Hope you enjoyed that session, and we touched on a few areas for you that you'd like to consider or consider for your clients. And if we can be of any help to you or your organization or your clients going forward, please contact us. Our contact information is on the slide there. And I know Christy will be sending out the slide deck to everyone on the call today. So again, future contact points are all there for you. So I'm Shane Yates. We are All Business Solutions, and I'd like to thank you for your time today. Thank you, everyone.